welcome. Recently, the government of Canada announced that it will set an intake cap on international student permit applications starting January 22nd, 2024. In the context of implementing this cap, as of January 22nd, 2024, study permit applications submitted to IRCC will also require an attestation letter from a province or territory. I want to make it clear that I am not an immigration consultant or a lawyer. I am merely sharing based on experience and public information. As you can see here, most students need to provide an attestation letter from the province or territory where they plan to study. The question is, how do I get an attestation letter? Each province or territory is developing a process to get an attestation letter. These processes are expected to be in place by March 31st, 2024. So March of this year. All right. And so what IRCC is saying here, as you can see, they'll return any application received on or after January 22nd, 2024 without an attestation letter, unless you're exempt. This information is definitely important for prospective undergraduate international students. We're going to look at some of the situations in which you may not require an attestation letter. All right, so let us take a look at some of these contexts and let's go down. So here you'll see who doesn't need an attestation letter. You do not need an attestation letter when applying for a study permit if you are a minor child applying to study in a primary or secondary school. So in Canada, they will refer to this as K to 12, so kindergarten to grade 12. So if you have a child, coming with you to Canada, they may need to apply for a study permit to study at, a public school. And in that context, they do not require this attestation letter from the province. Importantly here, if you're a student applying for a master's, PhD, or other postgraduate program, you do not need an attestation letter. My understanding here, so master's program, I guess that is clear, graduate studies in the context of master's and PhD programs or other postgraduate program. So my understanding here in the context of postgraduate program, sometimes you have like postgraduate certificate programs, postgraduate diploma programs. These other postgraduate programs could be one-year programs. You do not need an attestation letter if it is that you're applying to a graduate program. And in this context, a master's, PhD, or other postgraduate program. If you're a student applying to extend your study permit, so if you're here in Canada and you need to extend your study permit, then you do not need an attestation letter. There are some contexts in which you do not need an attestation letter. One, distance learning. So if you're outside of Canada and you're studying online, you do not need an attestation letter because there's no reason for you to apply for a study permit. So only if you're coming to Canada, then you'll need this attestation letter if you're an undergraduate. So if your program is going to be an undergraduate program, then you will need this attestation letter. All right, another situation that comes to mind is, short-term courses. So for example, foreign nationals who may come to Canada to take short-term courses, you can attend a course or study for a duration of 6 months or less, And in this context, you do not need an attestation letter based on my understanding. All right, so please remember to check the information. That is definitely important as well. I hope this video provides you with some information regarding attestation letter, how to get an attestation letter, and also if you'll need an attestation letter. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Please stay tuned for further updates.